The steps that we've defined are based on considering an AI solution. There's a lot of stuff happening in the industry right now, a lot of companies doing different things. So how do you consider those options and where do you start? Then how do you evaluate those and how do you make a final decision? How do you do research to make that decision? And how do you get it approved within your organization so that you can actually implement and evaluate the usefulness of this solution? So starting with how to consider AI.
So considering AI, what do we mean by that? That there can be different needs that you would have as an organization that you think AI can help you with. So some organizations are interested in learning more about what AI is, about deep learning technology, training data, creating models, that type of thing. But there are also companies that want to solve a clinical question, that they have a need or a pain that they feel that an AI application would actually be able to help them with. So I think that is the first thing that you need to be clear on and agree on within your hospital or institution is what is the thing that you are trying to learn or that you are trying to solve. And the second one is that then what are the outcomes that you are looking for? When is it a success? When you've done a project, what do you think should be the result? Should you have built a model? Should you have used the software in clinical practice? Should you have successfully applied it to a certain patient population? What is it that you are really trying to do? And the third thing that you need to consider already at this stage is what kind of budget do I have? Is it am I doing something for research with a couple of PhD students, or am I going to a large vendor that with a full-blown solution? Obviously, there are different budget implications to that. So you need to be clear what that size is and where that is going to come from.
Yeah, and what we've seen so far while working with several hospitals throughout Europe is that there's two types. There's the organizations that want to experiment with AI, and they're the ones that actually have an issue or a challenge to solve and they think that AI can help them. The latter group are the ones that actually will have the most benefit, and those will also be able to make a better decision on what vendor or solution to go for.
So evaluating an AI application is the thing where you are thinking about. So what does this space look like? Right, there are hundreds. If you Google imaging AI or healthcare AI, if you've been to the RSNA of the ECR in previous years, you will know that there's an entire hall filled with companies that are active in this space. So to be able to find what you're looking for. As I said, first you have to have that first step. So what is the scope of what you're trying to do? And then you have to look at the applications that are actually present for your specific application. So whether it's lung nodes, what we do, or brain hemorrhages, or whatever it is, there will be a subset of the vendors who are actually active in that space, right? That's already a big reduction of the scope. And then the second question is, how mature is this? At what stage is this company actually? Are they do they have great research ideas, or do they actually have a product that is actually that you can test, or is it a product that's actually already certified? And at which stage do you want to engage with such a company? Another very important question is how would such a product be implemented in your workflow? Does it fit easily? Is it something that you can add with a relatively low amount of effort, or not? And is that what does it get a feel for how complicated it is to get started? Because obviously you will want to start with something that's relatively easy to
get integrated.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then looking at how it's validated, like how have the vendors validated their own solution? You look at that from a high level as well, right? So have they done any studies? Have they done any validation testing with data sets, etc.?
Yeah, and so certification is of course important if you're looking for something that is actually usable in clinical practice. And there it's also very important to ask a little more. So what exactly is the claim that has been validated? So having a CE mark or an FDA clearance is important, but what is that claim actually for? What does it cover? And does that the claim actually cover the use case that you have?
Yeah. For example, is this just for workflow prioritization, or is it a full clinical solution that provides diagnostic decision support information? Those are completely different things with different claims and different types of certification.
Exactly.
Okay. Just to give you an example then from our end, what would you look at for ADENS?
So for something in the area that we are active in is that, of course, we have experience in this field. So we actually made a questionnaire for companies for hospitals, I should say, to evaluate us. And that is, okay, so is the question you have, is it something that our application can help you with? Do you have a need in terms of the load of chest CT scans that you are currently handling? Do you have enough radiologists to handle them? Are you satisfied with the quality and the accuracy of what's happening at the moment? Do you maybe have a screening program that you need to handle, which is going to create a huge increase in the load? Are you able to handle that or not? And can then software work for you?
Yeah.
And for example, also for us, so does it fit with my PAC system? Have you integrated with it before? Maybe you want to send us some test scans that say, okay, hey, I would like to see how your application is actually doing on my patient population, because I have my own, I don't know, my scanners, my protocols, and this is how we do things here. So can I give you some test scans to see if I'm satisfied upfront with what you're offering?
Yeah, so you just gave several examples about use cases. Can you handle the load with your radiology workflow? Are you confident and are you happy with the quality of your reporting? Those are the criteria, and then you look at the vendors. How can they actually provide you any value? So, for example, with our product, if you want to automate the reading of nodules, you look at automated detection. But if you want to actually do something with those nodules, you need to have classification, you need to have measurements, etc. Yep. So you go deeper into that part.